The more energy you have, the more things can be organized quicker, faster, make it happen. You can solve problems. When you're energy poor, even smart people don't maximize. And the problem is in our culture today, because of technology, technology is starting to condition us instead of us just condition the technology. Today, we sit so passively. If you walk into most businesses today, everybody's in a deep trance, and you can see it because there's very few rooms that I've walked in that are as dead as this one was when we started here. And yet, I know you're not dead. You're the peak of performers in the world, but we're internal when I say that. And there's nothing wrong with being internal, but there are times we got to be externalized to make it work. Who's with me on this? Say aye. And so what I'd like to do is let's see if we can do something a little different, because what we don't want to leave here with is have you come here, listen, and hear those interesting thoughts and go on. We want to go home and make the shifts in our lives. Who's up for it? Say aye. So to do that, we're going to do some unconventional things to get things moving in here so we have a different level of energy. So I'd like you to find somebody nearby right now, point them and go, I own you. I would say to you where the energy comes from is psychology. It's a decision about who you're going to be and what you're going to tolerate or not in yourself. And those are the highest energy. If I said to you, Richard Branson, energy rich or energy poor? Quick. Okay, Mark Benioff, energy rich or energy poor? Yes. The room when I walked in here, energy rich, energy poor? Good. So should we change that? Yes or no? Good. When I say, point somebody and say, playfully, you're telling them, I own you. What you're really doing is challenging them. And I want to see if you can do something fun. I do this with the best athletes in the world, presidents, you name it. Sounds crazy. But what we want to do is we found that you can change your energy just by changing the way you move for a few moments. If you decide to. Energy equals emotion. Emotion is energy in motion. And so if you try to get yourself pumped up in your head, you go in circles. And we're not looking for pump up, we're looking for fuel. Fuel that will move things. How many of you can tell me where you were the moment you heard the news about 9/11 way back when? How many remember where you were anywhere in the world? There's all kinds of countries here. Could you see it? Do you know exactly where? What if I said, where were you on 8/11? Nobody has a clue. Why? Information without emotion is barely retained. Information with emotion can get you to take action, get you to move. The reason people traditionally don't act on what they've learned is they sit in a passive state, like we've all been trained to do. That's why before I talk about anything, I want to shift this with you if you're willing to. Who's up for it? Awesome. Then be a little playful. We're going to do it again when I say, oh, you get really crazy. And then what we're going to do is you're going to outdo their energy for just 30 seconds. You're going to jump, celebrate like a little kid, like the most energy you have, trying to outdo their energy for 30 seconds. All right? Look at somebody pointing and go, I own you! No, I own you! No, I own you!
When I'm going through change in my life, or I have a specific outcome that I want to create, I love to get up early in the morning. That's my time. I'm a 4:30 in the morning guy because that's my time. The rest of the day I'm serving, but I love getting up early and changing and working and having some time to myself. And I believe that when I invest in myself, I invest in my future. And that time in my morning, nobody bothers me because that's my time. And because of brain waves and brain chemistry, the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is more open. And so if I get up early and I'm kind of between theta and alpha, I don't have to work as hard. I'm not thinking, I just kind of relax into the moment. In the evening, I always ask myself, how did I do? How was one lifetime in one day? Where did I fall from grace? What happened? And so then when I look at seeing how I reacted to someone or something, or I made the choice, I could have made a better choice, I naturally, and we all do this, begin to think, well, if the same situation happened again, how would I do it differently? And that's the act of beginning to come up with a new plan. The act of rehearsing it in your mind begins to install the circuits in your brain, priming your brain so that when the next experience happens, you could modify your behavior to do a better job in life. That's called plasticity. So it doesn't matter for me what meditation I do any longer. I like to just get up in a new state of being. People say to me, hey, I missed my meditation today, like I'm supposed to go like this or something. And I say to them, eyes open or eyes closed? You know, well, eyes open or eyes closed. You know, when you're passionate about something, you know, when people can't get up in the morning and they can't get out of bed, I'm going to tell you why. because they can predict the feeling of everything that's going to happen in their life. And their body's resigned to the familiar. It says, oh, another mundane day. But remember when you were a kid and you were going on a field trip? What happened then? You were up and dressed and ready to go before your parents were up. You know why? Because you knew something unexpected was going to happen. That's how we should live our lives. Waking up with the understanding to expect the unexpected, and something unusual should happen in our life as a result of our efforts. And it's just those beginning moments where it begins to happen that we begin to prove to ourselves how powerful we really are. So take time in the morning and the evening and the rest of the day. Check in with yourself at certain times to see if you're still in that energy. And if you're not, excuse yourself for a second, raise your energy, and step back into your life. If you keep doing that over and over again, you'll become less frustrated, less impatient, less judgmental. It'll just become something of the past, and you'll be someone else.
I know that one of the key things, one of the things that's made me successful in my life is making it a priority to control my thoughts. Like, what am I thinking about? Like, literally putting discipline in on how I talk to myself. And so I don't want this to sound all psychobabble stuff. It's not like, oh, if you just stand in the mirror and talk to yourself and say positive things, everything's going to be all right. That's not true. Be careful what you say to yourself, okay? Because if you're saying a $30 steak is a lot of money, or a $4 toy is a lot of money when your kid wants a $4 toy, listen to what you're saying. That's a lot of money. Dude, if $4 is a lot of money, okay, on my worst day, $4 has not been a lot of money, even though, okay, I've been at periods in my life where I didn't have $4. So I'm talking to you today about how do you control? How do you control? How do you discipline? How do you start monitoring what you're saying to yourself? I can't find the right girl. I can't find the right guy. There's no good guys left in this town. All men are pigs. Women cheat on their men. Marriage is hard. Having kids is difficult. I don't want to pay taxes. You know, I can't help myself. I can't stop. I can't trust myself. I never do what I say. I procrastinate. I'm an introvert. I'm broke. I'm poor. So, look, what are you saying to yourself all the time? First thing I did was I took a little journal out and I just wrote down all the negative things I say to myself. By the way, I just gave you the list. Okay? I can't spend money. I can't save enough money. I don't make enough money. Okay? I don't know how to invest in the stock market. I can't invest in real estate. I don't have time to do this. You know, the time thing, people just kill themselves with the time thing. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Guess what? Oops. You don't have enough time. You don't have time. You don't have money. Catch yourself. Every time you say, I don't have time, say, hey, I create time. Every time you say, I don't have money, I create money. Or maybe just start literally like talking to yourself that, hey, I am a millionaire. I am a multimillionaire. I own, if you're in the apartment game and you want to be in apartments, but you don't know anything about apartments, you can start literally talking to yourself saying, I am worth, or I own 100 units. I did this for years. For years before I ever bought an apartment, I used to write down, I own 20 apartments that earns 12% cash flow. Over and over, I bet I wrote this down 1,000 times. I own 20 apartments. My first deal was 38 units. I own 20 apartments or more. And I write it in any little journal, any piece of paper, any legal pad. Every time you say something negative, write down, I need to lose weight. Okay. It's good. But you know, if you're running a race, you don't say, I need to finish the race. You're looking for you got to run, right? You got to run, you got to move, you got to keep moving your feet. So, I mean, you can sit there and say, I got to finish this race. But the truth is, if you need to lose weight, man, just once you pick your target weight and start affirming that I weigh 165 pounds. I weigh 165 pounds. So just switch it a little bit, right? All you're trying to do is discipline. You're trying to move the river. So if you're broke right now, quit saying I am broke and start saying what you want. Where are you going?